This is our top story at 9. ANC Deputy President David Mabuza will be sworn in as a Member of Parliament today.
Last week, Mr. Mabuza requested his swearing in to be postponed to give him time to respond to the African National Congress's Integrity Commission report. The swearing-in ceremony will be conducted by Chief Justice Mogoeng Mogoeng at Sefako Makgatho Presidential Guest House in Pretoria at 4 p.m. today. But to now make some sort of sense as to what is happening with the story, we're joined now by Dr Mazwe Majola, a leadership analyst. A very good morning to you, Dr Majola. What do you make of this new development?
Good morning. Yes, it's a wonderful development and very shocking news. Of course, we did not expect them today, because as you know that we've had that about 22 people were to appear before the Integrity Commission over the last weekend. We have had that Mabuza appeared to the Integrity Commission of the ANC last Friday, and the commission was to compile a report and produce that report today. So, of course, yes, we're expecting the report. We're expecting to hear what the Integrity Commission made up about the allegations against the deputy or the former deputy president of the country, David Mabuza. But of course, yes, it appears as though whatever the report they've compiled, they have submitted probably to the ANC president in the top 6 and to the NEC, and it appears that maybe they are happy with it, and even David Mabuza is happy with it. Because remember, he's the one who wanted to clear his name. So he's the one who really said, I want to clear my name. So it means that after the discussion with the Integrity Commission is happy, he feels that his name is not tainted, is not contaminated with corruption anymore. He feels that he's ready to be called an honored Member of Parliament.
Is a once-off meeting sufficient to clear the kind of allegations that had been leveled against the Deputy President?
Sorry, I didn't catch that, sorry.
The once-off meeting that took place on Friday, that reportedly took place on Friday, is that sufficient to clear all the misunderstanding of the allegations that were leveled against the Deputy President?
Well, it's not. Absolutely it's not, because obviously it wonders what exactly was the purpose and objective of David Mabuza of appearing before the commission, and as he said that he wanted to clear his name. Was it about just to appear there for 1 or 2 hours? Obviously, I don't know how many hours they spoke, and then they just spoke about it, and then they said, no, I'm happy, therefore I can just go ahead with my duties. Was this a genuine process, or was it just a rubber stamp process? Is David Mabuza happy with this process? Can you really be happy that now I'm happy to be sworn in as a Member of Parliament? I've cleared my name before the Integrity Commission. Remember that the Integrity Commission is not a decision-making body of the ANC. It's just a structure of the ANC, NEC, and then it reports to the NEC of the ANC. So whatever they discussed, it was supposed to be reported back to the NEC, and the NEC obviously would have made a decision. But because it's Mabuza himself who proposed and who wanted to appear before the commission, is not obviously the NEC who sent him there, but it was him who wanted to clear his conscience and say, I will not become a member of parliament before I appear before the Integrity Commission.
So can we say with hindsight that it was a good decision to postpone his swearing in?
Well, it means that with the negotiations and with the consultation that has been taking on or going on, it means that both David Mabuza and Cyril Ramaphosa are happy with the process and they want to proceed. Because remember that this is affecting Cyril Ramaphosa in terms of announcing his cabinet. So you can see that he can't wait anymore in announcing his cabinet. As soon as David Mabuza is sworn in, he'll be able to continue with his cabinet announcement.
As soon as David Mabuza announced, or rather the president announced that Mr. Mabuza was postponing his swearing in, speculation went into overdrive in terms of who was the person that was going to come in to be deputy president. Now that Mr. Mabuza is back in the fold, are we expecting him to go straight back into that position and become the deputy president of the country once again?
Definitely, we expect him to continue as the deputy president of the country, because you can see that the reason why the president postponed the announcement of the cabinet, it was supposed to be announced yesterday on Monday, but he postponed it. Now that this has been cleared, it's quite likely that the announcement will be made soon, and definitely David Mabuza will go back as the deputy president of the country.
The presidency sent out a statement saying that they are not tied to time frames. There is no requirement for the president to have announced that cabinet yesterday. So are you saying that that's not necessarily true and the cabinet should have been, and this was what was delaying the announcement of the cabinet?
Yes, definitely. This is one of the things that was delaying, because the president was still waiting for this process to unfold, but also to make other consultations with a tripartite alliance in terms of the positions and the ministries and the new cabinet that he's going to announce. So he wanted enough in sufficient time for consultation, so that when he makes the decision, at least it may be the decision that is accepted by all the structures. They may not be happy with it, but at least it should be a decision that has been widely and broadly consulted. So anytime now, from this afternoon, tomorrow, any day from now, any hour after the swearing in of the David Mabuza, the president can make the announcement of the cabinet.
Unconfirmed reports that Mr. Malusi Gigaba and Mr. Mantashe also had a meeting with the Integrity Commission in terms of their implication, the way they've been implicated as well. How will this, especially in relation to Mr. Gigaba, how will this change his fortunes if it did happen?
Yes, what we know is that the Secretary General, or rather the Integrity Commission, sent about 22 names. So there were 22 names that were affected in that list, including Gigaba, Mantashe, Nomvula, David Mabuza, and others. But Gigaba, because he had already resigned, so it will be just for his own personal conscience, but it won't affect him as a member of parliament, because he's no more a member of parliament. He has resigned. Gigaba and Nomvula, we know that those who resigned. People are still there who still need to clear their names, so that if they do go back. Is Mantashe, Mantashe, yes, he's going back as a member of parliament, but we don't know if he will be included in the new cabinet.
You're saying now that with the swearing in of Mr. David Mabuza this afternoon in Pretoria, it will be all green lights for the president to now announce his cabinet. Are we expecting to see Pravin Gordhan in that cabinet?
That is one of the things that has been giving Cyril Ramaphosa headache in the light of the recent public protectors reporting about Gordhan. I think that is going to give him a big headache, and I wonder if he will really be coming back. That is one of the things that he has been pushing him and delaying him and making him to liaise and or rather negotiate and consult with different structures. Because of all that, I mean, it has really reoriented him in terms of bringing him back. Because remember, the president, he wants people who are not tainted and contaminated with corruption, malfeasance, and all these wrongdoings. People who are overboard, people who are immaculate and impeccable. Leadership is about honor, it's about respect, integrity, credibility, it's about character. So the people that he will announce there, he must make sure that these are people who have unquestionable integrity, so that people, or rather the citizens of the country, they won't have any problems with these people.
But legal analysts are saying that with relation to Pravin Gordhan, we're really making a mountain out of a molehill, that he doesn't have a history of being corrupt, and he can go to the president and say, you know, this was operational oversight and I apologize, and go back to his operations. Are we understating this?
Well, but the public protector has recommended that the president must take some correctional or disciplinary measures against Gordhan. So the president must not have double standards. He must be consistent. When he says, I don't want people who are tainted, I don't want people who are contaminated in my cabinet, and he must stand by his word. Everyone who's there in that cabinet must be above board, must be impeccable, must be someone with honor, and must be someone with unquestionable integrity. So you cannot say one thing to one person and another to another person.
Dr. Majola, give us your predictions of the cabinet that will be announced, but also positions such as directors general or public servants who are already within the system in terms of the current existing departments. What will be done to those ones who are in the departments that will get folded? How will they be moved around in government?
You see, for me, I've been really saying I don't want to play with the speculation game of who's going to be there, who's not going to be there, because Cyril Ramaphosa may surprise all of us. We don't know who's be there. But I think for me, it's more about principles. We need competent people there, so whoever he chooses, he must get men and women who are competent, who are ethical, people will be hungry for service delivery. People will be who will serve the nation. You know, people who won't be coming there for their own self-interest and their own self-serving, but people will get there and serve the country. So those are principles for me that are very, very important. People with high integrity, morals, with values, those are principles that are very, very important.
And your thoughts about the public servants who are already in the systems, how will they be moved around?
And that is very important as well, because whatever happens to the political heads, it must also talk to the officials There must be people who are competent. There must be people who are ethical there. The people who are corruption free. People who will serve the country, because we really need now people who are hungry with service delivery. People who will get there and just run with performance. People who will be highly performing, so that the people can get the service that they need or that they deserve.
So in your final analysis, we will wake up tomorrow with a deputy president in the country?
Yes, definitely. Once he's sworn in this afternoon, I predict that the president, any given time after that, will go ahead and announce the cabinet.
Dr. Mazwe Majola, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.